Turning 60, for many, it's seen as the beginning of rest. But for me, it marked a beautiful new chapter, a time to reflect, not with regret, but with a deeper understanding of who I truly am. If I could send a letter to my younger self at 60, I'd say this: you're not late. You are exactly where you're meant to be. In this video, I want to share with you the simple yet powerful lessons I wish I had known earlier. Lessons that can help you live more gently, more joyfully, and more truly at what I now believe is the most graceful age of life. Are you ready to begin this journey with me? Lesson 1. Health is everything. I wish I had understood sooner that health is never guaranteed. It's a gift, and if we don't treasure it, it quietly fades away. In my younger years, I felt invincible. I stayed up late, skipped meals, pushed myself through endless tasks, all for the family, for the people I loved. But one day, my body started speaking back. Aches in my back, knees that tired too soon, sleep that no longer came easy. That was when I realized caring for my health isn't selfish. It's an act of love for myself and those around me. After turning 60, I began to shift. I woke up a little earlier to walk, to breathe fresh morning air. I chose simpler meals, less oil, more greens. I allowed myself to rest. I slept earlier. I listened to my body more. Health is no longer a goal to chase. It's the foundation of everything. With it, I can laugh, travel, hug my grandchildren, and feel joy in simply being alive. So if you're 60 or approaching it, please remember, caring for your health isn't just about living longer. It's about making every day you live truly matter. Lesson 2. Love yourself first. If there's one thing I regret, it's that I spent so much of my life trying to please everyone else and forgot about myself. I was the devoted wife, the caring mother, the ever-present grandmother. I poured myself into every meal, every bedtime story, every family moment. But I never paused to ask, what about me? After turning 60, I realized something profound. No one can care for me the way I can. And loving myself isn't selfish, it's honoring my own worth. So I began with little things: buying fresh flowers just because I love them, wearing the dress that makes me feel beautiful, sipping tea in silence each morning. I returned to forgotten joys, painting, reading, music. And I learned to say no to what drains me, to unnecessary expectations, to opinions that come without kindness. As I learned to love myself more, I felt peace return. I no longer needed anyone's approval because I finally gave it to myself. At 60, you have every right to put yourself first. And when you live fully as you become the best version of yourself. Not just for you, but for those you love too. Lesson 3, don't be afraid to change. For a long time, I carried a belief: at this age, why change anything? But the truth is, we truly grow old only when we stop changing. Turning 60 isn't the end. It's a turning point, a chance to rewrite your story in a gentler, deeper way. I used to fear new things. I was afraid of technology, afraid to travel alone, afraid to try unfamiliar foods. But one day I asked myself, if not now, then when? So I started with the smallest steps. I learned to use a smartphone, joined yoga classes with my friends, signed up for a weekend painting course. At first I was clumsy, unsure, but I laughed more, smiled more, felt more alive. Change doesn't mean forgetting who you were. It means refreshing your spirit, opening your heart to all that life still wants to offer. At 60, you can begin again, not because you must, but because you choose to. And this time, you live not for others, but for yourself. Lesson 4, choose your relationships wisely. After 60 years of life, I've come to realize not everyone who has been around for a long time is meant to stay. Some relationships were once everything, but over time, they no longer bring peace. In the past, I feared upsetting others. I kept in touch out of duty, smiled even when I felt drained. But then I learned kindness is not about enduring discomfort. And genuine relationships never make you feel small or hurt. Turning 60 gave me the courage to declutter the connections in my life. I no longer needed many friends, many invitations, or constant phone calls. I chose to keep those who made my heart feel light, people whose quiet presence brought peace. I learned to accept that some relationships will fade, and that's okay. Life changes, and those who are meant to walk this later chapter with you will naturally remain. Choosing your relationships is an act of self-love. When you surround yourself with sincerity, gentleness, and respect, you begin to treat yourself the same way. Lesson 5. Happiness comes from the simple things. There was a time when I believed happiness had to be something grand, a long vacation, an expensive gift, or a shining moment of recognition. But the longer I live, the more I understand. True happiness lives in the simplest moments. So quiet, we often overlook them. It's waking up to birdsong and realizing you're still here. It's a warm cup of tea on a rainy afternoon. It's the silent gaze of a loved one beside you, where no words are needed. It's a homemade cake, imperfect but made with love. It's the giggle of a grandchild. It's a quiet evening doing absolutely nothing, just watching the sun set and feeling the breeze through the trees. I used to chase the big things, only to feel exhausted and empty. Now I slow down, notice the little things, and feel deeply grateful for each small gift life offers. Happiness doesn't come from having everything. It comes from having a heart that sees beauty in the ordinary. When you can smile because of something simple, you've already touched true happiness. Lesson 6. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Over the years, I used to think forgiveness was something we did for others. But in time, I realized forgiveness is first and foremost a gift we give ourselves. There were wounds I carried for years, hurtful words, unresolved misunderstandings, broken connections that haunted me. I thought that by holding on to the anger, I wouldn't forget. But in truth, I wasn't clinging to justice. I was clinging to pain. I slowly learned to let go. Not because others deserve forgiveness, but because I deserve peace. I wrote letters I never sent. I whispered forgiveness in my heart. I practiced looking back at the past with softer eyes. And each time I released a hurt, I felt a little lighter. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means accepting that the past can't be changed, but the present still can. It's choosing to live on without carrying the weight of what once was. After 60, I choose lightness. I choose to walk forward with a free heart, no longer tied to what has already passed. And when I forgive, I feel young again, not in body but in soul. Turning 60 is not an ending, but a new beginning, gentler, deeper, and more meaningful. It's a time to return to yourself, to listen to what truly matters, and to live each moment with presence. Though life brings its wrinkles, its changes, and even its losses, you still have every right to happiness, peace, and love, starting from within. Thank you for spending these moments with me. I hope that no matter what age you are, you found something here just for you. A little reminder to slow down, love yourself more, and believe that every day is a new chance to begin again.